All right. Well, I know there's a few of you out there still listening. I think I've lost the rest of them that either think I lost my mind or have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But that's just a fact that they're not ready for this shit. It's uncomfortable. And when you first hear it, it sounds fucking insane. I would have felt the same way. I did. Even though my body, my mind were screaming at me for so many years, telling me I'm not following the right path, going against what you believe to be true, still living in fear, which obviously manifests into all sorts of shitty characteristics to live with: anxiety, depression, doubt, insecurity, addiction to substances. But this information is it's uncomfortable, and people don't want to fucking hear it. A lot of people, but I think a lot more is starting to want to. And someone like me wouldn't have been doing this. Obviously, I wasn't doing it, more than a few months ago. But I think there's a larger percentage of the population now that is ready to hear these types of things, or at least be integrated into this kind of knowledge and wisdom. And it's none of it's fucking crazy. Theoretically, it is extremely simple. In practice, in life, with how complicated life is, it's extremely complicated. Or we make it extremely complicated. I've read I don't know, at least a dozen, I'll say, spiritually oriented books in the last 4.5 months. And they all point to the same shit. They all say the same fucking thing. All of them. Every single fucking one of them. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Christianity, Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, any sort of mystic, woo-woo, spiritual, astrological, esoteric shit, manifestation books. It's all the same. That's nice to cross-reference what all these things are saying. And they all have their own perspective. But if you read all of them, they all have basically the same message. Go within. If there's anything in your life, if you have discomfort in your life, look at that discomfort. Don't go away from the discomfort. Go into yourself and look at the discomfort. God is everywhere, which means He is in you. God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, omnibenevolent, and He is one, which means it is literally everything. So if you actually want to find truth and wisdom and understand yourself, the only way to do that is going into yourself. Reading all these books and watching all these videos is absolutely a good reminder to set you on the proper trajectory to do such things, to go into yourself. But like I said, they're all pretty much saying the same thing, and it's like you can read 20 books, 30 books, 40 books. The ego the intellectual ego wants to keep reading books and being like, I read this, I read this, I read all these books, I know all this shit. Yeah, do you practice any of it at all? Or do you just read books and feed your intellectual ego? Or are you actually fucking practicing what you're being reminded of here? This is ancient, inherent. It's inherent knowledge that we are all given, every single one of us. You don't need a book. If any one of you could escape from your reality and come live in the woods for a year and just fucking sit in stillness and quiet. Granted, you had your creature comforts, you had food, you had everything you needed. And you just came out to a quiet place and did this work. You wouldn't need a fucking book if you were intent and focused enough and maintained going within yourself and observing your subconscious programs. You would come out a completely different person. Absolutely. But obviously life's not that easy. But my point is, all these videos and all these books that we have access to are there to remind us of what we already know. This is within us all. We've just covered it up with a fuckload of horse shit. We just piled horse shit on top of this truth, baseline of truth and knowledge. We just took our human intellect and went, that's worthless. I want to be the master of nature because I'm so fucking smart. I'm the master of the world. I'm the top of the food chain. We're the absolute fucking smartest thing to bless this planet, right? Fuck all that ancient, who knows how many hundreds of thousands of years of knowledge humans have been practicing. That's nonsense, right? No, it's not. It's inherent in all of us. It's God-given. It's God's will. We're all created with it. There is no man more or less created. There's no man with more or less of that within him than any one of you or myself. It's simple, quite frankly. What is challenging is unraveling the decades of lies, the decades of subconscious programming, the decades of emotional suppression, the decades of holding in the truth when you know it's the truth and you still act against it. We all know what to be true. And again, on your fucking deathbed, what is going to be important in that moment? Granted, you actually have a chance, a few moments to know you are dying, and perhaps you have some family members around. It's like in that fucking moment, when you're looking back on your life, are you going to care about all the money you made, or all the cars you bought, or, any sort of material horse shit you had? Or are you going to care about the experiences you had, the relationships you built, how trusting you were of others, how loving you were, how compassionate you were, how authentic you were? Were you honest? Were you dishonest? Did you carry a lot of anger? Were you at peace? Were you happy? Did you live your life to its fullest potential? Or do you you regret not taking that risk that you wanted to. These are the things that will be flashing through your fucking head the moment you die. That's why I like to go back to it a lot, because that's going to be one of the most profound moments in your life. You don't even need to debate that. You know, if you actually have a moment right before your death where you know you're going to die, you fucking know you are going to be looking back at your life and questioning whether you did it right or wrong. And hey, none of us can do it all right. There's no fucking way any of us are ever going to be perfect on this planet. But did you take the chance? Whatever that may be, that looks different for all of us. But comfort, what I want to get to is comfort in our lives is such a fucking illusion. And I'll give you an example because there's a lot of context there. In the last year of my life, when I went off on my own and started a business and had no clients, had no work coming in, had no idea what this actually was meant to be. Although I kind of did subconsciously. I think I subconsciously took a leap of faith, and it was never about starting a successful business. It was always about finding myself. It was always about getting rid of this fucking nastiness that I've suppressed within me, that I just pushed down, and I'm coming out of that. And I feel better. I feel healthier. I still deal with doubt and worry, but I'm more observant of it. It's more clear to me. I identify it a lot quicker. I can get myself out of it a lot quicker. But in this time, there's always one thought. Because money, you're worried about money. We all fucking worried about money. During this time, there's such a comforting thought of like, oh, I could easily go get a job at an HVAC company and make good money. I could easily go do that. I have the credentials. I have the experience. I have a license. Like that it all looks pretty good. Plus, I have plenty of friends within that industry. It wouldn't be hard. That's always there. I could always fucking do that and live a comfortable life. So going to this fear and this darkness and these really low moments in my life in the last year, I always knew I could just, all right, I give up and just go make 6 figures right off the bat. I know that. That kind of comfort, which is the trap. And hey, trust me, I'm grateful for the money I've made. But I fucking worked hard for it. And I did all the things to get there. It's not like that was fucking given to me. Everything I've ever done in my life, I've fucking busted my ass for. Especially what I've been going through the last fucking year. And maybe not busted my ass is the right terminology, but the intent and focus and 24/7 awareness that is required to reprogram the person that you are. It's fucking constant. It's no joke. I can't blame people for not wanting to do it. But again, comfort creates these issues, these emotional issues, these problems we have within us, physical issues, all sorts of things. Convenience and comfort. Oh, I'll just stop at McDonald's. Oh, I'll just grab this shitty bag of Cheetos or Doritos or whatever the fuck. Oh, I'll just eat this fucking slop because it's cheap and it's convenient. Do we need to look at the health of many people out there? But not even that, just the comfort of your weekly paycheck, the comfort of your familiar world. Your world is you build a world and a comfort bubble around it. And within that, even if you have anxiety, even if you are suffering, that is familiar suffering, that is familiar pain. I was suffering for years and then jumped off a cliff and took a leap of faith because I fucking knew there was no way around getting this fucking shit out of me other than going straight fucking through it, which meant rejecting and kicking away all sense of comfort that I have known to be familiar in my life. That's the comfort I'm speaking of. Of course, I have like a couch, I have hot water, I have food in the fridge, I have heat, I can take showers, I can shit in the toilet. Yeah, we all have these creature comforts. I'm not getting rid of that. But more psychological comforts. I can go to work and work with these people I know. I know that I'm going to get a paycheck every 7 days. I know more or less what my day's going to look like. I know more or less that for 40 hours a week I can distract myself from the anxiety that I have. And then come the weekend, feel like fucking shit again. But it's only 2 days, I'll be back at work. That was the pattern I was going through, and you know how fucking shitty it is to realize you're depressed on your days off and the only good days you have are the days at your job? Considering you don't love your job, you know it's not your true passion. Hey, I'm good at HVAC. It's cool. I'm grateful to have learned all that stuff. I like to have skills. It's awesome. But I'm not going to sit here and fucking tell you I love HVAC. Like, please. So, there's a comfort we build. And you can live for years in that little bubble. And you're like, I am suffering. You're still suppressing what you're suffering with. And you're not looking at it because you're so fucking busy anyways. And then, of course, you want to go do things after work or on the weekend. So there's more distraction. And I'm not telling everyone you got to go quit your fucking job. And yes, I would not advise what I've done. It was the most brutal fucking straight path through my darkness that I did not know, although I think I knew subconsciously, but I did not know consciously that that's what was happening. I would not advise what I've done, but it was a expedited track through myself to go within myself. I was absolutely forced. Everything I set up subconsciously, I set up everything to literally force myself to go in to my darkness, to go into myself, to figure out what the fuck this is. 'Cause I knew I couldn't live the lie anymore. And I know there's a lot of people out there like that. But this shit takes time. It does take remembering, and it takes repetition. It takes repeating. It's like, how many days can I fucking worry about the same goddamn thing for years on end? Like, that's the program you got to get rid of. Whatever you're pushing away, whatever you're worried about, whatever fear comes up over and over and over and over and over. And it's like, that is literally the definition of insanity. It's like building this bullshit story in your head of negativity and then expecting something different to happen. Well, maybe in that mindset, you don't expect anything different to happen. You're kind of expecting the worst to happen. But these are the programs, and it's been propagated through society. It's drilled into us in school, at your job, through entertainment, through music, through media, you fucking name it. All these fucking insane and delusional, sorry for lack of better words here, insane and fucking delusional programs that we know are not the truth, yet we're too afraid to go against it. When you're laying on your deathbed, did you take that chance to go within yourself? Taking a chance, taking a risk in life looks different for all of us. And honestly, if it is a business you want to start or somewhere you want to move, or just living happily in peace within yourself, not living from a baseline of fear and doubt and insecurity, but acceptance. It's living from acceptance. If that's your dream, which ultimately, yeah, we all want the things. We all want the millions of dollars. We all want the nice big house. We all want, whatever. We all want that freedom. But that's secondary to the emotion, the feeling, the gratitude, the love, the peace, the joy that you're going to have, assuming it's a genuine, authentic pursuit. If you've done your proper work along that journey to attain what you want, it's the emotion you're looking for. Not the $1 million, it's the emotion. So my point being, for a lot of people, that might just be the dream right there. It's just knowing that we are divine beings. We are all part of this great consciousness. We are all part of this oneness that the universe is. And just living from a place of peace in that. And not worrying about how successful you are, how much money you make. So back to comfort, that is the illusion that we build around ourselves that keeps us from taking the chance or the risk that we want to take. Because we build these worlds around ourselves. And going outside of that world is unfamiliar, it's scary, and it's uncomfortable, and you have no idea what your next week is going to look like, or next month, or next year. You don't know. There's no reference point. There's no solidity. There's nothing to fall back on. It's pure discomfort. And then from that, you find yourself. That's the point where you find God. That's the point where you find love for yourself. That's the point where you find the confidence. That's the point you start getting energy and motivation and believing in yourself. When the night is the darkest, that's where it fucking happens. So, probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but that's the way it is. If you haven't done your shadow work, if you haven't gone into your darkness, and you keep prolonging it, it's only going to be harder. But the best way through the darkness is straight through it. Don't beat around the bush. And of course, that looks different for all of us. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's all I got for today.